Rastov YouTube awesome.
Hey, what's up YouTube? Rastov here, and welcome to this week's story time. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why I decided to start doing YouTube. I know I've talked a little bit about it in some of the welcome videos that I've done, but I've never really gone too in depth with it. And I thought that it would be a cool place to kind of start with like the proper story times, you know. So in story time theme, like we did with my mum's birthday, I'm going to be playing some Crash Bandicoot. You'll notice that this is not where I left off with that, and that's because I've now recorded 3 different videos of story time, and halfway through recording each of them, I realized, fuck, this is depressing what I'm talking about, so I'm just gonna not do that, because even though I'm fine with talking about that sort of stuff and putting it out on the internet, I don't know if people would feel comfortable listening to some of the tragic shit that's happened. So I'll probably talk a little bit about it in this one, but yeah, we'll just kick into the level and we'll go from there. I fucking hate this level, so I'm gonna get mad probably. Alright, so here we go. Why did I start YouTube? Well, I've had an interesting life, I would say. I've had things happen. You know, when I was 13, I lost my dad to suicide, and that gave me a very interesting outlook on life. I've always had a very, well, a very real need to want to help people. And it mainly, I was always like that as a kid, apparently. But it was even further enhanced after I lost my dad because, well, I wasn't able to help him, so I've always wanted to be able to help other people. And it was definitely a struggle during my teenage years. I always wanted to be a YouTube, or content creator, streamer, when that finally did come in. But a couple of things sort of stopped me from doing that. One was our crap internet. My mum wasn't, even though, as you would have heard in my other story time, my mum was like the reason I started gaming when I was a teenager. She wasn't really happy that that's all I wanted to do. Pretty much because I had lost my dad literally at the start of my high school years. Like, it was literally when, he took his life on the 3rd of January, and I started high school in like February or something, I think, or whenever it started for that year. So after that, like, being exposed to the death of a parent, it's like seeing God bleed, you know. Like, you don't expect you expect your parents to be untouchable, you expect them to live forever, you never even think that it's a possibility that you could potentially lose them. And losing one right at that age, which is a lot of the formative years, I kind of just thought, fuck it, like, what's the point? So I didn't really take anything seriously after that, you know. Like, I kind of half-assed school, and I wish I didn't. I wish I'd actually taken it seriously and used my brain. One thing actually that was quite detrimental to my learning was, you know, that thing that everyone somehow says, all you have to do is apply yourself. All you need to do is apply yourself. Well, to me, when someone says that, all he needs to do is apply himself, what you're telling me is, I'm smart enough to do this, so I can do it whenever the hell I choose. So if all I have to do is apply myself down the road, and I'll be fine. I can screw around now, and later on I'll be okay. Turns out that's not how that works. But yeah, I really didn't care. But one of the things that really got me through high school was YouTube. Watching YouTubers. I watched a lot of gaming YouTubers when they came out. I'm just going to transition to the next level, and then we'll keep talking. So I watched a lot of YouTubers. The gaming YouTubers that I watched, wow, the ones that I can remember anyway. I watched a lot of Hutch. I watched a lot of CNanners. Then when they went to Machinima Respawn, I watched a whole lot of that. But earlier than that, the YouTuber that I probably watched the most, and I think a lot of people did, was Shane Dawson. And, you know, I know that he did lose a lot of, I guess, popularity when he got cancelled. Personally, I don't really care about that sort of thing. Like, I don't think that you should end someone's career or livelihood because of something that you think is inappropriate. Fuck, I mean, you know, the whole premise behind, like, people that are public figures having to hold themselves to a higher standard than everyone else, like, the thing that I've noticed the most about the world is as social media became more prominent, people started losing more faith in, like, politicians because you could see more of them. You know what I mean? Like, everyone, well, particularly the older generations like to talk about previous prime ministers and different governments and all sorts of crap like that as, you know, the glory days, and in my day we didn't have all this drama and all this other crap. And it's like, well, yeah, that's because there was no Facebook, Instagram, all that other crap to show you. It was all happening, probably, but you weren't able to see it, so ignorance was bliss. And I don't know why I got off topic. We could probably talk about that for a very long time, but I watched a lot of Shane Dawson, and if you ever watched his videos from back in the day, you know that they were really out there, out the gate crazy, but they were hilarious. And he was very, I believe he was very real in the way that he shared his feelings. So, you know, hearing someone else that had a lot of the same feelings that I did on a platform that I really enjoyed watching content on was really helpful for me and refreshing. And I always thought, man, I would love to be able to do that. But, you know, kind of like I'd mentioned, my internet wasn't the best, and my mum was never a huge fan of me being on the internet so much as I was, that getting like a new webcam and a headset from her was never gonna fly. It was hard enough to get a new headset when my old one broke when I was on Ventrilo. So, but yeah, so it was never something I was really able to do. And I guess when I was able to do it, like, man, how did I end up getting flattened by that? I guess it was getting knocked back there. But I guess when it finally got to the point where, you know, I was able to sort of get some of these things for myself, I still didn't do it. And it was honestly just, I didn't have very good self-esteem. I didn't believe in myself a lot. You know, like the job I'm in at the moment, when I was interviewed for the job, they did a phone interview first, right? And they called, and I got woken up. And then, like, they called it like 11 o'clock, and I was still asleep, because while I was unemployed, I would pretty much go to bed at 7 o'clock in the morning, wake up at 3, and play games until 7 o'clock in the morning with my American friends. And so they call me. And this example, like, sort of perfectly explains me, I believe. So every question they asked, right, every question I got asked, I nailed, right? Like, it was just fantastic answers until they asked me what my strengths were. What are your top 5 strengths? And you know what? I couldn't give one. I had no self-confidence, no self-esteem. I was able to answer the other questions really well because they were all true, and I knew that they were true. But when I started thinking of, you know, my own personal strengths, I could say words, but I didn't believe them because I didn't believe in myself. And it stopped me from doing a lot of other things. You know, I still got the job, and, you know, it has been good at kind of helping shape me into the person I am today. You know, I've learned a lot. So, almost 9 years in October. Some say I should move on, and maybe I will. I don't know. But you know, for now, I'm happy. And 2 years after I started, I was asked that same question again. What are your top 5 strengths? And at that point, I was only able to give 3. So 2 years in, still a work in progress. I think I started working there when I was 22. I think. Yeah, it'd be about right. 22. Maybe 23. I guess this video should have been titled, "Why did I only jump on YouTube now?" rather than "Why am I on YouTube?" But I think it's all relevant, right? So, you know, it's always something I've been passionate about and just honestly never had the confidence. So, when you hear that, the first thing that you would think of is, oh, okay, so like you must have the confidence to do it now. Obviously, I'm sitting in front of a camera making all these videos, and I've been really consistent with my uploads and all that sort of stuff. Not because I want, you know, not because I'm trying to do it for anyone else. I'm only really doing it for myself. I know it's selfish, but, you know, hey, that's okay. But, yeah, so I've always, yeah, as far as like the confidence thing goes, do I have confidence in myself now to do it? It's a hard question. It's less of confidence, it's less an issue of confidence and more of like, and I actually just don't care. And I know that it sounds bad, but you'll have to hear me out. I know in my video, previous videos, I've mentioned that I lost my mum last year. She passed away to cancer. And, you know, she was the hardest working person I've ever met, you know. Like, she was just... She's amazing, right? You know, she was highly respected in her job. She gave it everything. She loved it. She was happy, right? Like, she was truly happy in the job that she did. You know, everyone has gripes with their jobs, like normal, you know. She wasn't... Not saying it was perfect, but happy. And I just remember thinking, and this was negative thoughts, like when she had passed away. I remember thinking, like, all of that time, all of that energy, all of that effort, and like, it all ends up the same, right? That's how I thought after she passed away. Like those, yeah, I wasn't in a great space. Like I really wasn't. And I know that, yeah, it's not a very fantastic way to look at things. Why do I keep doing that? You know, so that was honestly how I felt though. I honestly felt that, you know, and I thought, you know, fuck work, fuck a career. What's the point? You know, you're gonna spend most of your life doing it, and then you're still gonna end up the same as someone who doesn't, right? And I just felt empty. Like I felt really empty, and I tried a whole bunch of different things. Why do I keep making this mistake? It's because I'm talking, but you know, so I kept trying to find that thing You know, that thing to fill the hole that's never going to be able to be filled, right? And I know that sounds dirty, but I don't mean it in that way. Oh, crap. You know, so like I tried a bunch of different things. I took singing lessons because I do love singing. You know, I started DMing a Dungeons and Dragons game, which, as all Dungeons and Dragons games happen, one weekend someone can't make it, and then all of a sudden, everyone has something else pop up, and I know that that's genuine. Like it's not like some groups where they just stop giving a shit, but like we just genuinely all had things happen weekend after weekend after weekend, and then we just haven't kind of jumped back on it, right? So I tried that. I started writing a novel, you know, so I've done all of these different things to try and fill that hole and help my creative outlet. And I liked all of those things. I still like all of them, but they didn't do what I was hoping. And then I thought, well, why not YouTube? I always wanted to do it. I have the computer to do it now. I have the money to be able to get like the webcam, get the microphone. If I really feel the way that I said that I feel about what's the point, then what's the big deal? Why should I be scared about doing it? And so, you know, I bought the webcam. I bought a microphone. And I made my first video. Now that video got deleted because I was terrible. It wasn't that great. It was a dislike video. I don't know. I mean, some of you might have watched it. Might have just been my girlfriend that watched it, but no. Ah, I hate this game. It makes me mad. No, but you know, but that was how my mindset was. You know, I was like, well, what's the point? Why don't I just do this? But I still didn't start. I still didn't actually start it after I had that. Because I thought, if I'm going to start something like this, I want to actually commit to it. And I don't want to do it because fuck it, right? Like, I want to do it because of a more positive reason. And, you know, and so I kind of tabled it. And then I started feeling different. And I don't know, I woke up one day and I didn't feel the same as I felt the day before. You know, like I went through an existential crisis about what's the point, like why are we even here? All that good stuff. And yeah, one day I didn't feel that way anymore. I felt fine. Not fine, like, you know, but like I felt sane. Not that I didn't feel, not that I felt insane. Like, you know what I mean? I hope. Like yeah, I don't really know how to explain it, but like one day I woke up and I was... Yeah, like one day I woke up and I was just okay. You know? Life didn't feel like it sucked anymore. And so I thought, you know what? Now that I feel like this, I'm actually going to give the YouTube thing a try. And that's why I'm here. That's a fucking cop-out of a story after all that. No, I really wanted to find a creative outlet after my mum passed away, and something to reignite my passion. Something, well, you know what? Like, I can talk about, like, what YouTube has done. It's been fantastic. I've really enjoyed doing it. You know, there's only been a single day when it's felt a little bit like a chore. And I think it's just when I had, like, I didn't know what I wanted to make a video on. And I ended up just not making a video that day. Ooh. Got an achievement for that. There's no achievement there. But yeah, so like I guess the TLDR for this one would be, I've been on such a long journey since I lost my dad, and I'm finally at a point where I'm going to live my life in a way that makes me happy, not in a way that I feel like I'm supposed to, you know. And even though I kind of had at one point felt like fuck work in general, fuck working in general, not my specific workplace, although I probably said my specific workplace at some point, but just in general, I didn't feel like there was any point. I'm at a point now where I can do all of those things because I choose to, not because it's expected of me, right? So, you know, I can continue working, and I can aim higher and aim for different roles and maybe a different job or whatever, like do YouTube or go back to singing lessons, keep writing my novel because I choose to, not because anyone has told me to. It's because these things make me happy and they enhance my life, and it's a very freeing feeling. One that I never kind of ever thought that I would feel, because the way that I measured success was someone else's ruler. You know, if that makes sense to you. Whereas now, success and happiness to me, and I know this all sounds cheesy and corny and like, you know, welcome to my TED Talk, but it truly is, I'm on here because this genuinely makes me happy and I like doing it, you know, and the day that it doesn't feel like that is the day that I'll just have to reevaluate and find out why, you know. But yeah, I don't know if that even really answers why I'm on YouTube. I think it does. I mean, that's how I felt. Like, that's how I feel, like, you know, saying this, telling you this story. And yeah, it's been a long journey and something I wanted to do almost 20 years ago. Yeah, almost 20 years ago. It's taken me this long to get to a point where I actually just said, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. And I don't actually have any regrets about not doing it earlier, honestly. And I felt like I would, because I'm doing it now, and I'm doing it as this version of myself rather than who I would have been back then, and probably would have hated it because I wouldn't have known what to do. So don't let your dreams be dreams. Just do it. See you next Friday. Have a good one, guys. Peace.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe.